the design. So this is something which is now very, very normal and necessary for any company which designs a product. And for plastic industry, as you know, product design and application center is very, very important. And 2D and 3D CAD design centers play a very, very important role. So with this objective, we thought of organizing this webinar along with our panelists from Brixis. So without taking much of your time, let me first introduce to you and welcome our President of IPMA, Shri Chandrakant Turakia ji. Very modest, very humble, very down to earth, but very highly networked, highly connected, one of the very well-known person in the industry, Mr. Chandrakant Turakia, President of IPMA. I would now welcome Chandrakant Bhai to give his welcome address.
Thank you, Deepak. Good afternoon, everyone. Very warm greeting to everyone. I appreciate your presence for this session. We are all somewhere aware of the 2D CAD solution being extremely for mechanical industry, but we still are trying to find cost-effective solution to this much updated and industry-leading product support service and technology. Today's webinar on cost-effective 2D CAD solution for mechanical industries will help us seek answer and information about the above. Uh, I warmly welcome Mr. Jagat Thora, Technical Lead APAC Brixis, and Mr. Arvind Thanga, Senior Software Analyst Brixis, as our expert speaker for today's session. Thank you, everyone. I am sure we all have plenty of valuable takeaways post this session. I wish you all luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Burabai, the President of IPA, for giving your welcome address. May I now introduce to you the most important person in this panel and perhaps in the entire industry, Shri Arvind Mehta. He is the Governing Council Chairman of IPMA. He wears many hats. He is basically heading various organizations. He is very well known in his own community and also in the industry. He was also the past president of Plast India, of IPMA, and very successful entrepreneur himself, runs a very successful company called Wellset Plast Extrusion. He is the one where the industry goes to him for any guidance, any mentorship. So he is a true mentor for the industry and especially IPMA. So may I now request Arvind Bhai to give his address, please.
Yeah, thank you, Deepak, and good evening, everybody. Most welcome to the last session. As Deepak rightly said, PlastiWorld is what we call our maiden venture, is a very good success. And we are happy to serve the industry virtually. For your information, nearly 75 countries have participated in the business point, and it looks there is a very good business generation also in this PlastiWorld. My guesswork or estimate is more than 100 crores, maybe, and no doubt it is being assessed just now. So just to tell you that this is a story as far as the things are concerned. Now coming to today's reason, I welcome both the young gentlemen, Mr. Sagar and Mr. Arvind, my what you call dear youngsters who are always on the run for the software industry and all that. And we are very happy that we have these two young people for the giving us the knowledge on the CAD CAM and everything. So most welcome. And for your information, we are also setting up IPMA, that in the next building of our IPMA house, MIDC Andheri, we are setting up a technological center, IPMA Management and Technological Center, and there we are now discussing within ourselves, and again the shape will come, that we would like to set up a plastic product design and application center. And this is the story what we are just now in. So things one by one things will take place, maybe reverse engineering, maybe 3D, 2D, whatever you call it, maybe auto, this one software and something like that, plus other things. But it will be in the interest of the service to the industry. This is our goal. So it will go through the process. That is, we have the office bearers, and then it is a board of the director, that is managing committee, and it will go through and we'll make it. But sooner we will come inside. And we have very young people also inside nowadays in our team. And with our experience and their backup, we'll be able to make it. So just for information. Now, technologically, I think everybody has, you know it and you know better than us. So that is a welcome, sir. And I believe this technology can do wonders for the industry as it provides time efficient retrieval process of designs and documentation, provides simplified documentation of the project, etc. But the industry is still not very open, or let us say familiar with this technology and the accompanied benefits. So what is the benefit of this technology? Industry is not fully versed, because plastic industry is from micro to small, small to medium, medium to large, something like that. And 95% is small. So we are trying to upgrade ourselves through this technology. Therefore, I am very pleased to see that we are having this session today. I am sure all the knowledge we receive today will help us in accepting this new technology for the growth of our business. Thank you. Thanks a lot and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind Bhai, for very beautifully explaining the need of the technology adaptation by the industry, which is the need of the hour. And I think the entire industry has to go into the direction of technology modernization, technology upgradation, and the CAD and CAM plays a very, very important role in the design and also in various analysis of the product which the plastic industry would develop. So I think you have beautifully set the context. Now let me come straight to the panelists. Let me introduce our panelists today so that we can start with the actual program. We have two gentlemen, young gentlemen from Brixis, Mr. Sagar Thorat. He is the technical lead APAC of Brixis. Mr. Thorat is an engineer and experienced digital design and engineering technologist with over 12 years in the AEC industry, working in material fabrication technologies, marine and bespoke building envelopes to large-scale projects across APAC, the EU and USA. More recently, Sagar has furthered his experience having worked at other software vendors in the industry before joining Brixis and Hexagon. He has done his master's degree from Delft University of Technology, Netherlands. So welcome, Arvind, to this session. So welcome, Sagar. Now, the second gentleman we have is Arvind Thunga. He is a senior software analyst from Brixis. Arvind has over 9 years of experience as an application engineer with experience in SolidWorks and Autodesk Inventor. He has also been an end user for about 5 years, working in the wind engineering industry. He earned his master's degree focused in advanced manufacturing technology from Swinburne University of Technology. So APMA would like to welcome both of you to this webinar, and I would now request Sagar to take it from here and present your product information and also what is in it for the plastic industry.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and appreciate your introduction. And I would now like to share my screen. I'll just there you go. And we will begin today's session. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Okay. Yes, it's visible.
Okay, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna hide this. Okay, so today we are humbled and we are also proud that India is taking these steps in these times, and we are welcoming new ideas, and we are able to present to such a large audience our experience and our very cost-effective and very highly performing software, BricsCAD, for India and the plastic industry in India. We are Brixis. Brixis is a global provider of cost-effective, modern CAD, BIM, mechanical, and common data environment products. We are part of Hexagon AB. Hexagon AB is a 40-year-old company in the software industry with a $20 billion publicly traded group. There are about 400,000 Brixis product users all around the world in 110 countries. We are headquartered in Belgium, Ghent. It's a European software. We also have offices in other regions in Asia, India. Singapore is the Asia Pacific headquarters where I sit, and I lead the technical team for Asia Pacific. We also have Australia presence and 5 development centers of the software. The total strength of Brixis today is 250 people. Some of our clients and collaboration partners, as you see them here, some big names who trust BricsCAD are Hitachi, Hyundai, Bosch, Moton, Stagiko, Mazda, and other companies. These are just to name a few. The BricsCAD solution family starts right from the basics of 2D, BricsCAD Lite, where we are leading 2D design documentation and innovation with list functionality, coding functionality, parametric functionality, and so on. We are also offering 3D products such as BricsCAD Pro and vertical products such as BricsCAD BIM and BricsCAD Mechanical. We also offer 247 Brixis 24/7, which is a cloud-based data management and design collaboration platform. BricsCAD is highly compatible with AutoCAD. And if you are used to working with AutoCAD, it is very easy to start using BricsCAD. In BricsCAD, you can also start using parametric blocks, and you can also use the same CUIs, XTP files, DWT files, and all that you have been using with AutoCAD can be reused inside BricsCAD. You can also use Lisp routines. You can bring your old Lisp routines, or you can start building your own Lisp routines inside BricsCAD. We also offer books for people who really want to go deep into CAD and want to study and want to customize it. We offer books for AutoCAD users and also customizing BricsCAD at a high degree of level. So this offers the ease of migration for AutoCAD users to come to BricsCAD. You can run parallel installations with AutoCAD and BricsCAD, and the similar settings can just be replicated all over the softwares. If you can use AutoCAD, you can use BricsCAD. Why is that so? Because we are command compatible, we are interface compatible, we are custom tools compatible, we are muscle memory compatible, and you can train your team in 2 hours time, and that should be more than enough for you to get started on BricsCAD. With BricsCAD, your customization and workflows are directly supported, which include your CUIs, ribbons, shortcut menus, XTP tool palette files, Lisp routines, DWG and DWT files, and sheet sets and plotter setups are all supported inside BricsCAD. BricsCAD offers its customers a real choice. We offer perpetual license, which are owned by you as a user, as an owner of this license for a lifetime. This is a low-cost ownership model, and BricsCAD is dedicated to give you the best tools at the most affordable rates. You do not have to log in and log out of the internet, and this is completely 100% secured, and you can install this as a standalone and on your server very easily. We also offer maintenance such as product updates and product support, and this is optional when you buy BricsCAD. BricsCAD offers a real choice. We offer single licenses to be installed on individual PCs. We offer volume licenses. And we offer network licenses, and network licenses and volume licenses can also be utilized by multiple offices around the world or around different states in India if you have multiple offices around the different states. We are affordable CAD. If you look at our pricing and if you compare that with the traditional AutoCAD pricing, we are almost 1/3 of AutoCAD's pricing. AutoCAD has stopped giving perpetual licenses, and BricsCAD has been giving perpetual licenses for 20 years, and we stand by our promise to do so and keep continuing perpetual licenses, almost at 1/3 of the subscription, which is yearly price of AutoCAD, and a completely highly customizable European software on your desktop. So we have some large customers, like I've already told you. If you have a large base of CAD designers or product designers, even if you have like 100 designers, but they are sitting in different parts of the country, you could literally deploy almost 20 licenses or 50 licenses to 100 users. And this could be done through our network and sharing licenses basis, also for perpetual licensing. So with this, I will directly move into the product demonstration. I hope my screen of BricsCAD is visible. If you could please confirm, Arvind. Thank you. So this is BricsCAD, and yeah. So let's now look at how you can start with a new drawing in BricsCAD. You can simply open up with a new drawing here, for example, and directly the 2D interface opens up. Then you could bring in templates. For example, if you have any particular templates, you could also directly bring them in. You can start with your current template. Maybe you have some templates which have been used in AutoCAD before. So you can actually directly go to your AutoCAD library, and from there, you can open a new template. For example, if IMFG was your previous template, you can just open it and start using your standard template here inside BricsCAD. All right. So similar to standard CAD softwares, we also have the similar layer structure. We have the similar property structure, and the similar tool palette structure as well is available inside BricsCAD. Now, the good part about BricsCAD is that you're working in the same environment, not only for your drafting. So if your draftsmen are used to the classic CAD environment, you can switch to a classic CAD environment. And then you can simply start using your standard tools such as REC for rectangle with dynamic dimensions. You can see here that BricsCAD has invented the dynamic dimensions which you can directly use. For example, I can enter 20 mm and I can enter 10 mm as a height, and your rectangle is drawn. Similarly, C stands for circle, L stands for line, and when you draw a line, you can see that what length are you drawing and at what angle are you drawing. This is a dynamic feedback that BricsCAD offers, and this is again very unique. Similar to this, you can also use customized CUIs. So if you have a CUI which you have saved in AutoCAD, you can directly start bringing the CUI inside BricsCAD as well. So all your AutoCAD CUIs can also be bought inside BricsCAD. Even if you're using other CAD softwares other than AutoCAD, you can still bring those CUIs because this is industry standard technology which is applicable for all CAD softwares. All right. So if I would like to move to a more kind of a tool-based environment and not really a custom type-based environment to start drafting, I could also move to this sort of a tool-based environment where you can directly start selecting from your tabs here. Dimensioning styles are also the same, and also your tree structure can be utilized. Now we will move to a drawing which will show that how the CAD drawing of a plastic product, in this case, a packaging product, where you can see here how this has been drawn inside. And these are all live dimensions. So for example, you can directly start dimensioning, linear dimensioning. So let's say if you're checking a drawing which was made by somebody, you can directly start dimensioning like that. You can also do radial dimensions and other circular dimensions. Similar to your standard dimension modules, you can also do radial dimensions, which are associated with the particular geometrical entity. So if I move this arc, you can see here that how dynamically my dimension also updates. So my dimension will automatically update if I update the arc length of my curve. So you can see here, this is again the unique advantage of BricsCAD. Other than that, if you would like to look at the settings, you could also go into settings, for example, and BricsCAD offers a very unique searchable settings. So if you'd like to change the background color, for example, so I can actually go in here and type background, okay, and then just hover down to the background color, and from black, I might want to change this to white. You can change the background color as you need. Okay, so similar to that, even your tool palettes can be utilized. So similar way, all your tool palettes, if you're using, you can again use the similar tool palettes or start creating a new palette. For example, you can create a new palette. You can name it as products, for example, and any product that you would like to bring inside the tool palette can now be bought. For example, I could go to my drawing explorer, and in my drawing explorer, which is very beautiful again and very nicely presented. So you can look at your layers in the drawing, and each layer you can just browse through, for example, and you can see all the entities that are available as part of that layer. This is again a very unique advantage of BricsCAD. So let's say if you're going into your blocks and there is this bottle block which is available. So what you can do now is you can right click and you can add it to the current tool palette. So now I have actually added this to the current tool palette, and you can see that this bottle block, it can directly be dragged and dropped inside here. And then I could also choose what type of bottle I can do. So let's say if you have, for the same type of use, you have 3 types of bottles. So what would you do? What you can do inside BricsCAD is, for example, all these are 3 types of bottles. Maybe the use is the same. So let's say all these are consisting of lines, arcs, and circles. So these are not blocks now. So what I can do, I can convert this to a block, for example, and similar way, I can just say select entities, select these entities, and name this as bottles 02. Okay, and I can say okay, and there we go. This is already converted to a block, and now I can move inside my block entity and just open the block entity. And inside the block entity, now I can add a visibility state for this. So let's say we can add a visibility state here. We add a new parameter called bottle type 01. Okay, let's say bottle type is the parameter. Say okay. And now what I can do is add a visibility state. So add a state. So I can say type 1. Okay. All right. And then I can choose the visible entities. So let's say this is the type 1 bottle. Choose this, enter, and then I will add another state which is type 2. Okay. And then I can choose what is visible. Select this and enter. And then I can add another state which is type 3. All right. So now we have added type 3, and then I can select the visible entity, which is this third type of bottle. There you go, and enter. And now you can see that if you look at the first type of bottle, this is the first type, then the second type, and then the third type. So I have segregated these. And if you go to the first one, I can actually now move this bottle to a base point. Okay, and I've moved this bottle to the 0,0 axis. Similarly, my type 2 bottle can also be moved. So I can just select this entire thing and move this to the UCS, which is my base point here. And then similar to that, my type 3 bottle can also be moved. There we go. Just choose this point, then hash, and then move that to XYZ. All right. So now I have type 1, type 2, type 3 in the same location. Now what I can do is save this, okay? And we could now use this particular bottle so that we have now created this bottle. You can see here, and I can copy this multiple times, okay? Let's say we copy this 3 times, okay? And now I can choose this bottle. I can go to the properties, and you can see here on the bottom right that I can choose this as type 1, okay? And this one I can choose as type 2. And this one I can choose as type 3. So at your fingertips, you basically have 3 types of bottles available. And any of the bottles, if you choose here, below you can see, you can choose the type and change it anytime. If you want to change, you can change this. So in this way, you can create multiple options for your products, and you can store them in one single block, which is a smart, dynamic, parametric block. And this is again very unique to BricsCAD's way of working. All right. So hope you like this feature. And similar to that, BricsCAD also offers the creation of parametric tools, smart drafting, and again, smart creation of your dimension tools. Similar to what CAD offers, you can do 2D, you can do surface creation, solids modeling, annotation, view states. You can even work with Excel sheets and so on. So this is again what I will show you another machine learning feature of BricsCAD, which is basically by moving into this particular, let's say this is a tank model. And in this tank model, I have this angle here, for example, right? So this angle here is actually comprising of some multiple lines and layers. It's not a block here. All of these are different lines and layers. Similar to it, even this one is all different lines. Let's say you receive a CAD drawing from somebody and it is exploded. You can't use these at all. But with BricsCAD, what you can do is you can actually create the block of this. So what we can do, we can just type in Blockify. So let's say Blockify. Okay. And now I can choose this selection over here, the entire thing, and then press enter. And in the entire drawing, I will search for similar kind of entities or lines, arcs, and circles. And BricsCAD actually now found 26 such areas where this can be applicable, 26 blocks. All right. So you see that what BricsCAD has done is automatically it converted all of these also in the same block. See that? So it smartly followed this and automatically created the block. Okay. So similar to that, you can also do arrays inside BricsCAD. Let's say you're doing a tray for any particular, let's say ice cube. Yeah. So you can actually type in the circle here. Okay. I'm just going to change the color and follow and change the layer of this. So let's say go to the layers. I can change the layer type of this one, line type of that one. Okay. And if I want to change the color, I can immediately do that as well. Let's change this color to white. Okay. And now we can use array. So let's use array. Select the entity. Enter. What kind of array you would like to do? Let's say rectangular array. And then you can do a rectangular array and specify how many components you want in your array. Okay. So you could say columns first. Let's look at columns. Columns. And let's say specify columns, 2 columns. And then let's specify the distance. I can specify distance of, let's say, 400. Okay. You can see how it automatically adjusts. And then I can choose rows. And let's say I'm going to choose 6 rows, and the distance between rows will be 100. So you saw here how automatically I created an array. And now after you have created the array, you can also edit the array by using BricsCAD's automated tools. All right. So this was the 2D portion of BricsCAD and how you can create, you can just not only draft anything, what you would like to, your products, you can not only check or dimension or hatch, you can name them, you can create drawings out of it, you can directly create a layout if you would like to do that, or you can even print them. Let's say if I want to print this. So if I want to print it, I can go to my plotter settings and let's go to our previous plot setting. Let's choose the paper type and I can directly start printing. Let's say A4 size में मुझे इसे print करना है. All right. So we can look at custom sizes. You can add paper widths. All right. And then you can also look at the window type, for example. So let's look at A4 like that. All right. Or A4 landscape. You can choose A4 landscape as well, or A3 landscape. And let's go to window, for example. Okay, choose the window. This is my window. All right. And then I can just review this. I can preview my drawing as a PDF and then I can print it. There we go. With all dimensions, hatch patterns, a perfect printing quality, the way you want, line thickness, line weights, and so on. So this is what you can export or you can print. You can even batch print. If you would like to batch print, you can do that as well. If you'd like to insert a PDF inside your drawing, you can also do that. You can do a PDF import. Okay. So you can import PDF drawings. In this case, I'm going to choose a file and just go to the folder where I would like to go. Choose my mechanical folder, choose a drawing of a deflector or a valve. Let's choose deflector. And let's just specify which page, 1, okay, specify insertion point, specify scale, specify rotation 0, and there you go. I can bring in the PDF drawing as a vectorized image. Okay, so this was just a PDF drawing that I bought in as a vectorized image. Right. So you can bring in PDF, you can even attach images, you can even bring images. So attach raster image and you can just bring in any image files like JPEG, PNG, TIFF file, all these can be brought inside and you can start working with them. All right, so this was the 2D part and I hope you found it useful and you will be able to work with BricsCAD. Similarly, you have been working with other CAD softwares. It's a great software to work with. And now I would like to invite my colleague Arvind, who will take us through the 3D design part on how you can use and convert from 2D to 3D and take it to the next level of 3D modeling and visualization. Arvind, I would stop sharing my screen now.
Okay, thank you, Sagar.
Just trying to open this. All right, let's open Zoom window. Stop. I'm just something a bit to stop my screen sharing. Are you able to share directly without me unsharing?
No, you need to unshare.
I need to share.
Should be at the bottom.
Huh? एक सेकंड हाँ चूज कर रहा हूँ Shiraz, can you help me? Because I'm okay. I found it. Stop sharing. Yes. Okay. Good. Arvind.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So, like Sagar had mentioned, he has talked about 2D part of BricsCAD, the capabilities of BricsCAD in 2D. I would like to also show now more on the 3D part. I'll just take you through a simple demonstration on creating a simple bottle assembly, and we will see how we can create it as an assembly and then create it as a 2D drawing, and also do some visualization with software called Twinmotion, which we are providing with BricsCAD Pro. And so that's we can take a look at it as well later in the demo. Let me share my screen so that we can talk about it. So you're able to see my screen now? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We are able.
Okay. Basically, in BricsCAD, I just want to show you how you can create a 3D bottle. So right now, I'm just drawing using 2D tools like creating a circle and moving that circle. I'll just copy that circle and just move it in the Z direction, and add, probably I'll just give a distance that I need. And so if I want to reduce, keep adding more circles to it so that I'll have some cross sections at different heights. And we can vary the dimensions. You can, like Sagar showed, you can provide dimensions, dynamic dimensions, and it's going to update accordingly. So in this case, I'm adding different cross sections at various heights so that I can create the profile for my bottle that I have. So by using this feature, you can create different complex shapes as well. So I will be adding also guide curves later. So I'm right now showing you, I'm just entering the last cross section that I need at a height of 7.5 mm. And then I'm just going to create a face. It could be a planar face, and I'll use that planar face to actually create my guide curve. So basically, I'm just changing the color so it's more visible for us. I'm just using a polyline. So I can use a polyline. I can draw a line. I can also create an arc. So everything in the same line I can do. So just a single click, and you're able to do that. And you can see here the guide curve. I just want to mirror this guide curve onto the other side. So I just use a mirror option, and you can see here I can create the same guide curve on both the directions. So there are different ways to do a bottle. You can use a revolve option, and right now I'm using the loft option. Without the guide curve, you can see the shape, and I'm just going to add the guide curves to actually control the shape of this particular 3D model. I'm just changing the color, and over here, I'm just going to add extrude. So I'm just using these, what we call as quads, which are always displayed next to your mouse. So I don't have to search for my commands. So that's very intuitive. It's very user-friendly for us. I'm adding a neck for this particular bottle, a mouth, and I'm just adding some fillets here. You can see here, it's very easy to add in the fillets. You can enter dynamic values. At the base, I just want to probably create a cut. So I'm just adding a circle, and I can use the extrude option to cut it. So that's really easy. Again, using the chord, I can easily add the fillet here onto the edges. Now, since it's a bottle, it has to be a cavity inside. So I use the shell option, and I give a thickness of, let's say, a 5 mm, and it creates a cavity inside the bottle. Now, let's say I want to find out maybe a volume for this particular bottle, like how much capacity I can fill inside. So what I can do is I would create maybe a primitive, like a block, a box, and I will subtract it from the actual bottle. So right now I'm just creating the block and whatever height that I need, I will just place it until that height. And then I'm just going to subtract the block from the bottle, and that will create a volume inside the bottle. So right now I've just subtracted it. And in order to get the inner material here, what I will do is I will explode the bottle itself. So right now I'm just trying out the subtract. So you see the subtract option, and I'm just going to subtract this from the the primitive black box here. So I've done the subtract. Now I'm going to explode this solid so that it becomes surface, and then I will be able to delete the surfaces that I don't need. So right now I'm just selecting the surfaces. You can see here, I have the inner cavity here that has been now solidified. So I just remove off certain surfaces that I don't need. So I'm just selecting those surfaces and I'm just removing them. And on the side here, I have this structure tree from which I can see what are the entities that have been created, and I can also delete from that. Now you can see I have this surface. I can stitch them. So we have some powerful surfacing tools. So I just stitch them and it becomes a solid here. So I have my bottle and have the cavity inside. So this I'm going to convert it into an assembly so that later I can show you, I can apply some materials to it. Right now I have created the bottle assembly, and also I'm also going to add the inner volume as a separate component so that I can measure it. So I'm going to open up this inner volume and I'm going to add a material to it. So I'm just going to choose here. You see, we have a liquid library. I added water, and now I will just find out the mass properties for this. It will give me the volume as well as the can give the center of gravity, the volume, the mass, all these things. I can get it from here. Now I just want to create a cap for this bottle. So I'm just creating it from scratch. Simple extrude using the quad. That is something that you saw next to the mouse pointer. And again, I just do a shell on this particular cap here. So I give again a value of 5 and I can make a cavity. Let me change the color here. So it'll be more visible for everyone. So I changed it and I'm just I'll save it first, name it as cap, and let me save this. Right, now I go into the assembly. I can insert it inside the assembly here. So I just insert the cap, and I will also, we have different tools that are available to position the cap with next to the correct location that we need. So here, let me first fix the location of the bottle assembly first so that it doesn't move. So I'm just going to fix it. And now I will use tools like concentric, so that will align the cap with respect to the mouth of the bottle. And also I can use distance constraints to position the cap on the mouth correctly. Here, I just give a distance here. So all these solids are actually we are parametric, and it's also associated. So meaning whatever changes that we make, it will get reflected on the assembly as well. So right here, I'm just going to open up the cap again, and I'm going to add some grooves here. So I have created the circles here, and I'm just going to make a cut using those circles. So I have the circles. Again, I use the quad and I do a extrude. And if needed, if you want to have extra, if you want to beautify it or have some extra features to it, you can do the extrude, and at the same time, you can give an angle, a paper angle. So it gives you different designs that you need. So here, I will just give an angle of say 3 degrees so that we can get the respective shape that you require. And once that is done, I'm going to add a fillet. So let me add a fillet for this. All the edges that have not been cut, I'm just going to, on the top, I'm going to add the fillet to those edges here. So I'm just selecting the edges that have not been cut in the previous step. Let me select those edges here first. So these edges, once I've selected, I can again dynamically provide the value. So these are all called like direct modeling. So I can easily make some editing. So once I've saved it, I come back and I do an update. And you can see here, it gets updated in the assembly as well. And since I already provided the constraints earlier, I can make use of it and provide some parametric relations between the constraints and kind of like you can animate it in such a way that once you, when you're moving your cap, it actually tries to move like we are kind of unscrewing it. We are like opening up the bottle, right? So it rotates and moves at the same time. So it gives you that kind of, you can do those kind of kinematic analysis as well in this. So that is pretty helpful here. Right. So once I've done this, this is my assembly that is complete. I've just hidden the inner volume and I want to add some materials to it. So coming back to the bottle assembly, you can see here I have different plastic options as well as other materials. I'll just add, let's say, a polyethylene material here. I can add that, and so it will have the physical properties attached to it, which will help us to calculate the mass as well for this. So I added the material for the bottle. Next, I want to add the material for the cap as well. So this cap, let's say you want to convert it to a mechanical object first. Let me initialize the mechanical structure and select the components. And you can see here in the panel here, below the mechanical structure, I can see the materials coming up. So I'm going to add my material that I require. So again, I will add the polyethylene material here. There you go. I just select that and I click OK. So it will automatically give it hatch patterns as well. So when I'm doing a sectioning, it will create a hatch pattern on the section faces as well. So coming back to the bottle assembly, I just do an update and all those materials will get inherited in the assembly as well. So you can see here the materials are shown here. Let me save this, and now I want to create drawings for this. So I just have associated views which I can use. So and create like top views, side views, isometric views. So all those views can be created, and like I said, it's associative. Meaning if I make any changes to the assembly, it will get reflected in the drawing here. So that is really helpful for us. So let me wait for that to get generated. So you can see I quickly generated those 4 views. I just want to select these views and maybe convert them into a 3D representation, have some colors. And the isometric view, I can change them into maybe a shaded with edges, more realistic. We can do that as well. So once I've done that, you can see the difference between the 3 views and the isometric view. The other views are like conceptual, and this one is more like a edges, shaded with edges display. I want to create a section from on the bottom view here. So I'm going to create a section, add the section lines. You can see here, create the section line, and it will generate the section view automatically. So you need not draw on your own. So we already created the 3D model, that is enough, and we can generate from that. So we have a choice to either get it linked with the parent view, or we can disconnect it by hitting the control key, and I can place it somewhere next to the view here. And I can make it into a 3D view as well. Like I'm just going to unlock the viewport here, and I can easily rotate it, and you can get a 3D section view as well. So that might be pretty useful for you for any visualization to show to someone. For printouts, you can do that. I'll just lock the viewport again here. Right. So once this is done, the next step usually would be like you can create a bill of material, and you want to add certain information here. So in this case, you can see I don't want the inner volume to be displayed. It was just for creating to show the properties, so that need not be in the bill of material. So I'm just going to go into the inner volume, and I'm just saying I don't want it inside the BOM. So I'm just going to exclude it from the BOM. So this is how flexible the software is. So all these options are provided for us. You just do an update, and that particular row has been removed. So I can now add mass properties. So I just add the mass, and that column will be added units in grams. And I can add the materials that we had provided earlier, the physical material. I'll just add it here. So let me just rearrange the columns. I'll just add it here. So for the mass, if I want to have the total mass of this assembly, even I can add a footer with the total sum of the mass. Once I've got this, I can place it into the drawing here. And if needed, we can just rearrange this. So this BOM, if you want, you can also export it out as a Excel sheet, right? Right. So from here, I will just going to create the ballooning as well. So you can add the auto balloon, so it will automatically provide the labeling of the components. So I can select the components. It automatically numbers them based on the BOM. So here I've just added the BOM here. Next thing I want to do is to show you the visualization. We're going to export it out as an Unreal Engine, which will be imported into a software called Twinmotion, which is being done, which is being created by Epic Games, a gaming company. So over here, this is like a live rendering. So once you created your product, if you want to create a rendered image so that you can create some marketing materials, you can do it using this. So this something Brixis and Twinmotion are providing until June. Whenever we buy a BricsCAD Pro, this software will be provided along with it. You will be able to claim it once you have purchased a BricsCAD Pro. So you have different things that you can add here. You have different materials like vegetations. You have different characters that you can place. So you can see here different people groups. You can be an animated person, or you can just be a person who's just standing. All those things can be added. Materials can be added. So in this case, let's say I want to add a glass material to this component here, a frosted glass. I can control, let's say, the opacity of this material. So I can just drag and drop, drag here the values, the slide bar. And if you want to change the color, I can also change the color. Everything gets updated live. So I don't need to wait for the end of the day to do a render, wait for like 1 or 2 hours, even like overnight, and then see that there's something wrong with it. I don't need to wait for that. Over here, for the inner material, I just want to add, say, water. I can add a water effect here, and I can just make it more lighter. And you can see the ripple effect. You can see it from here. And since I placed the frosted material, it might not show up that much. Maybe we'll change the material to maybe a reflective glass. So there you can see the water inside. So you can see how realistic it is. It shows you the shadows, the reflections, everything is real time, right? So that's how easy it is to use. You just drag and drop. So I have this plastic material that I want to drag onto the cap here. And I'm just going to change the color, and you can see real time how the color changes. So once we've done that, I just can position it in whatever angle that I need. And we can also change the time of the day, the position of the sun, that can be changed. So to give us, you can see the shadow getting updated. The shadow of the cap, it gets updated. And I'm going to position it whichever way that we need. And I just create an image from here. Okay, yeah. So that looks nice for me. Okay, so I'm going to create an image. You can see here how fast it is from adding materials to coming to this stage wherein I'm ready to create my image. So you can play with the camera settings. You can give some special effects. You can zoom in and zoom out using the field of view. And again, you can rotate it. So still it's all live. It gets updated again. So it's that easy. So now you can see I've already come to the image stage wherein I can choose the image that I want, and I can start to export. I've chosen the folder and let it run. We can just wait for a few seconds and you will get the rendered image. So it's that fast. So we don't need to wait, like I said, like other software wherein we have to wait. And that's my image here, image 2. Let me open it. You don't need to wait. You can see here, it's rendered, the reflection, everything is shown here. So that's still motion. Let me go back to my software BricsCAD. You can see here we can do these kind of large assemblies as well. And you can do animations of these large assemblies, which I'm going to show now. So this particular animation is from like a bottling plant. And this is a Geneva gear mechanism. And you can see we can add those rotations to it, and it creates the mechanism. And you can keep controlling the visibility of these assemblies like we have just now created. And you can also create exploded view, like it can be an assembly instruction. You can create the videos like with this. You can see it's like a bottling plant. You have this bottle coming in, and we have nozzles that are filling up the bottle. So, and at the other end, you can see there's a capping machine, which is capping, providing all the bottles are being provided with a cap. The close-up view for the bottles, you can see that's being filled up with the liquid here. And you can see more close-up images. So you can see the controlling the camera view is also possible, and more movement of the bottles are also done. So everything can be done, and again the controlling the visibility as well. So these are the capabilities of the 3D portion of BricsCAD, and that's the end of my presentation. I would like to give back the screen to Sagar to give some final thoughts on BricsCAD software. Sagar?
Yeah, hi. No, thank you, Arvind. Wonderful. So I hope everybody found this informative. So I would like to conclude with some last final slides, and just would like to share my screen here. So, okay. Okay. So we have seen today that how BricsCAD can be used as a fully functional CAD parametric 2D design software. And Arvind has also shown us how we could use BricsCAD for 3D design, documentation, and volume generation, and also animation and rendering. So this is again something which BricsCAD is offering to the entire world all-in-one design solution package. And at the end of it, I would like to say thank you to everyone and open to questions now. So again, we are very humbled and privileged to be here today. And if you have any questions, or if you could do anything for the entire association, we are very open to these kind of suggestions. And also, if you'd like to avail this product demonstration training for your association or specific companies or a group of people, our team can help you to do the entire thing. So please let us know, and this is my email address. If anybody would like to connect with our team, I would direct you to the right people. So thank you again, and yeah, thank you. I'm open for any questions.
So thank you, Sagar. I think that was a wonderful presentation and very technical. I think very, very beneficial for the attendees who were there, specifically with regard to using the 2D and the 3D model, and also with regard to the entire simulation. So I would request, let me introduce to you first our VP, Vice President West, who is here and who is also the moderator of the session, as well as he will also deliver the vote of thanks. So before Akshat ji could start, let me quickly introduce Mr. Akshat Ladda. He is the Vice President West of IPMA. Akshat is Director of Anand Extrusion Limited. The plant is in Nagpur, and they are into manufacturing of PVC and HDPE pipes, and one of the oldest pipe manufacturing units in central India. Akshat himself is a very qualified engineer from Mumbai University, and he has completed his Chartered Financial Analyst program for CFA Institute USA. So after a brief stint in investment banking, Akshat joined his family business in 2012. Uh, I'm also glad to inform you that he is a very active member of the Utkarsh APMA Youth Council, and has also been active in environment-related activities of IPMA. Akshat, in fact, has represented APMA in the lead ban case in case of PVC pipes at various government authorities. He is one of our youngest managing committee members, and also one of the youngest office bearers. So I'm glad to have Akshat ji as the moderator, and also to deliver the vote of thanks. So Akshat ji, you may please ask questions, and if the audience have any questions, you can also ask on behalf of them. Akshat ji, all yours.
Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you for a very detailed introduction. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Arvind. Thank you, Mr. Sagar, for a very insightful presentation. It was a very explanatory and detailed presentation. We have few questions that have come across to us. So if I'll just begin with them. So yeah. One question, I think so, Mr. Sagar, if you can highlight much on that, how you have covered that part in your presentation. There's a question from one of our attendees. How easy is it to migrate from AutoCAD to bricks? If you can highlight a little bit more on that, because on that thing.
So the backbone of AutoCAD and BricsCAD are the same. It's the DWG platform. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So the backbone of AutoCAD and BricsCAD is the same, which is the DWG-based platform, and it's fully compatible with AutoCAD. All the blocks, list routines, commands, everything is at par with AutoCAD, and you're also able to customize it at a very high degree. And over and above, is seamlessly, a lot of large organizations took somewhere between 2 hours to probably 2 days to migrate. This is again depending upon how many people are migrating, because it's the same platform. And initially during migration, it is advisable that probably for 15 days or 1 month, AutoCAD can still be installed and BricsCAD can parallelly be installed. And then you can move your assets, drawing, palettes, DWTs, and everything, let's say in 2 days, or maybe it might even take 2 weeks, because some teams might be slow in the beginning. They might still have some work that is pending on AutoCAD and they would like to move it to BricsCAD. So these kind of things might take about a week or two for people to completely move from AutoCAD to BricsCAD.
So, if I may understand, I would want to understand one more thing. See, AutoCAD is largely used over here in India. Okay, so how easy it would be for any organization to expect their people to get trained on the usage of BricsCAD in your experience?
So honestly, a training is actually not required. You could directly start using BricsCAD like AutoCAD. Some of the features which are new, which is our machine learning features that we have seen today, like the visibility states, parametric blocks, Blockify, copy guided, working with the very advanced drawing explorer. These features, which are unique, will take about 2 hours of training for anybody to, let's say, then completely get hands-on on BricsCAD. But whatever you know of AutoCAD is already what BricsCAD can directly be started with. Like L stands for a line command, you start drawing the same way. The background is the same, the interface is the same, the CUI is also the same. So you can directly start using. So let's say we can advise on a 2-hour training for 2D features of BricsCAD. And for the 3D part, it might require about 8 hours.
Okay, fine. You mentioned of machine learning features. We have a question regarding that. What are the top machine learning features in BricsCAD?
All right. So the first most popular machine learning feature is actually Blockify. Blockify is an advanced version of creating a block where everybody is used to creation of blocks, which are identities or products. And it could also be any particular annotation objects. What BricsCAD does is it takes blocks to the next level, which is a machine learning feature called Blockify. And attached to that, there is another one called parametric Blockify, which actually combines multiple blocks and creates them as a parametric block. So this is number one. Number two is copy guided. Copy guided is a smart aligned copy. So if you copy, let's say, a valve or a particular nozzle to one location to another location, it smartly detects the object where it should be sitting on, and you don't have to like search for it. It automatically detects. That's the second machine learning feature. And the third machine learning feature is move guided. So move guided is a next version of copy guided where you can move objects. So it's not copying, but it's moving. When you move, the original entity gets restored and a new entity gets created. That is what is machine learning, the top three features: Blockify, copy guided, and move guided.
Okay. I guess next question is from Mr. Arvind. The question says, can BricsCAD handle large machinery models? If you can.
Oh, so if we look at the assembly design of BricsCAD, so BricsCAD is able to, let's say, the largest model that I've seen so far is about 3,000 parts. And Arvind can clarify on that if you'd like to say something, Arvind.
Yeah, like just now, what we saw, that big assembly with all those complex machineries, that is just part of a bigger assembly. So we handle like 3,000 parts, more than that also. So that's pretty common for users using BricsCAD. So it's quite light, I would say, compared to any other 3D software. So this is more lighter and like, computer can handle it. So we don't need like really high end specs to handle these kind of files.
We have one more question. Does BricsCAD have drawing and document management and design collaboration solution?
All right. So we haven't shown that today, but Brixis 247, which we call as 24/7, is our cloud-based document management, design collaboration, and storage solution. So if there are multiple teams who are working in different locations, maybe on the site, maybe in the office, And if they would like to share the models or the drawings, 2D, even PDF files, Excel files, Word files, and they would like to do markups and also design coordination, this can be done using Brixis 247. So Brixis 24/7 is our common data environment cloud collaboration feature, which is web-based and directly desktop-based. We have both solutions, desktop and web. So teams can simultaneously work with or without internet. Also, they can work with the LAN.
Yeah, we are done with questions. Okay, so yeah.
Aksharji, I have one small question. So Sagar, like Autodesk has mold flow basically for the mold flow analysis. Does Brixis also has something for the mold flow analysis, especially for the injection and the blow mold processes?
I would ask Arvind to answer this question, please.
BricsCAD, because it's part of Hexagon, so we have like mode flow is a separate module. Similarly, we have different module like under MSc, Nastran, those kind of analysis softwares. They do we do that as well, like doing CAM softwares, creating for your molds, and then also doing simulation. All those things can be done. We have software under our umbrella. Under the Hexagon umbrella, we have that. So Brixis is also part of Hexagon, and then these modules are also there, which can complete the entire process.
Okay, okay.
The name is MSc Nastran, right?
Yeah.
This belongs to Brixis only?
It belongs to Hexagon. So
Hexagon, okay.
Brixis is a Hexagon company, and MSc Nastran is also a Hexagon company.
Now, another one last question I have. See, basically, imagining this software to be used for our injection molded component is very easy. But having said that, can we also use your CAD software for plastic extrusion, the packaging? And also, for example, if we want to, what is the intention? Intention is basically how to do saving as far as the packaging is concerned. In terms of, if my packaging material is saved, I will have a saving of raw material. Whether it is structurally sound, whether the filling process is optimal. So these parameters, where can we actually do a virtual prototyping of the design and manufacturing using your software?
So this I would actually classify under the FEM, which could be CFD or FEM related analysis. And FEM would determine, let's say, the optimal material for a particular shape. So FEM analysis is again available under the MSc umbrella. Correct me if I'm wrong, Arvind. MSc Nastran also has FEM softwares. So again, a BricsCAD model can be exported out to MSc Nastran. And actually, we don't have to export it. There is Cradle CFD, which actually is we are launching a plugin called Cradle CFD, which will be able to take care of this sort of virtual prototyping.
Okay. So, but your file extensions are compatible, as you said, with Autodesk, right?
It's all
Yes,
DWG.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, so if basically if I am using a 3D scanner for basically as a reverse engineering, and I use, for example, a 3D scanner to have all my dimensions points, and basically a drawing will be made. Can it be imported to Brixis, and a correction or a tool correction could be done here in your Brixis?
Absolutely. So you can bring in point clouds. That's what we call it. And you can also bring in photogrammetric information as a Collada model.
Okay. And suppose I have designed a mold, and for example, I have a 3D, I have a Stratasys or a 3D system, 3D printer. Can I integrate your Brixis with my 3D printer and print the mold?
Yes, you can export it as a STL file.
STL.
Lithographic file can be exported out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Aksharji, all yours. So these were some of the questions I thought.
Wonderful questions. Actually,
Great
these sort of features, they require probably we could arrange for another session which could specifically deal with these questions that you asked at the end, because that's something which we didn't do today because it wasn't meant to, but yeah, we can include it.
Thank you, Sagar. Thank you. Wonderful presentation. Akshaji, yes.
Yeah.
You can conclude and deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to thank everyone for this successful event on behalf of IPMA. I would begin by thanking Mr. Sagar Thorat for a very insightful and enlightening session about this software technology. Also thanking you. Also, I would like to thank you for actually explaining us the features of this software and the 2D design. I would like to thank Mr. Arvind for sparing precious time and joining us, and mostly for helping us enrich our knowledge and understanding about the subject. I would also still thanks to Mr. Deepak Balani for smoothly moderating this entire session, and also the backend team of at PlastiWorld for conducting such a smooth session, which has helped all our panelists and the attendees. Lastly, I would like to thank all our attendees and participants for making this event such a success. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Mehtaji, Shiraz, thank you very much. Namaste.
Shiraz, wonderful job. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind bhai. Bye also. Okay. Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Same to you.
You too.
Yeah,
Same to you.
enjoy your weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Yeah, sorry.